Right, we've had a look at simple interest. This time we're going to have a look at compound interest. Now, the difference with compound interest is that when you leave your money in the bank with compound interest, every year that you leave it in, the interest that you get from the year before gets added on and becomes part of the calculation for the new year. So say you had £100 in the bank and you got £5 interest, the next year your interest will be calculated on £105, and so on and so on and so on. This way your money builds up even faster. So this really is where you start to see that having money leads to money with the compound interest. Okay, I'm going to take you through how to do this a long way, and then I'm going to show you a quicker way. It doesn't matter which way you use. I would say though, using the quicker way, although it might seem more difficult to start off with, doing it the quicker way, you are less likely to make mistakes because you're dealing with less calculations, less numbers, less likely to write down a figure wrong or anything like that. Okay, I'll show you both ways and it's entirely up to you what way you end up using. Okay, so Tom invests £450 with an interest rate of 2%. He leaves it for 3 years. How much will he have after 3 years? Okay, so first year then, we want to find 2% of £450. Nothing new. Percent means out of 100. So 2% of 450. Where's my calculator gone? There it is. 2 divided by 100 times 450, not 451, 450, that's better, is 9. So the first year he gets £9 interest. That means at the start of the second year we have £459 in the bank. So 2% of £459, we do 2%, so 2 divided by 100 times 459, divided by 100 times 459, £9.18. So at the end of the second year, we have £468.18. So that was the first year. Oh, that was the second year. Nope, wrong place. Try that again. That was the second year. Third year. This time we have £468.18. We need 2% of. Numbers keep going wrong. Let's try again. 468.18. That's better. So 2 divided by 100 times 468.18. 2 divided by 100 times 468.18. Oh dear. 0.18, that's better. 9.36 to 2 decimal places. £9.36. Add that on, and at the end of 3 years, oh come on calculator, oh dear, third time lucky. £477 and 54 pence. So after 3 years, leaving the money in the bank, he'll have £477 and 54 pence. £450 of that was the original investment. So £27 and 54 pence of that must be how much he has made in interest. And again, it's not for doing anything, it is just for leaving your money sitting in the bank account doing absolutely nothing. Okay, I'm going to look at this same question, but I'm going to show you a quicker way of doing it. Okay, so we had £450, 2%, 3 years. First thing I'm going to do is to make it a bit quicker is I'm going to add on first. So 100% is how much we had in the bank. We're adding on 2%. So it's 102%. And I'm going to do this as a decimal, so I don't need to divide by 100 every single time. I'm going to do it now. So 102% as a decimal is 102 divided by 100, which is 1.02. So for my first year, I'm going to do 1.02 times 450. And I get 459. Now this is very similar to the way I was asking you to try the percentage increase and decrease. Just doing the adding on first. The only thing I've done differently is I've written down what this part is divided by 100, so I'm not having to put it into every single step. So that was the first year. Second year, still got my 1.02, which is just my 102%, times, this time I times by my £459. Fortunately, doing the quick way doesn't make me any better on the calculator. 468.18. And the third year, and you'll see what I mean about less room for error doing it this way. £477.54. What you sometimes find, I can't remember if that was exactly the same, is that you might be a couple of pence difference. Depending on which way you've done it, it makes absolutely no difference. It's just to do with the rounding. As long as you still know you're working, it doesn't matter. You'll be absolutely fine. Okay, so that's a quicker way. You see, we've got a lot less work. We're not having to do the adding on afterwards, and we're not having to do the divide by 100. We're not having to write that bit in every time because we've written this down here. But if we look at this here, I can go straight from one line to get my answer here because I've done 1.02 times 450. I'm just going to write my 450 over here. I've then taken that answer, I've times it by 1.02, and I've times it by 1.02 because I've done it for the first year, the second year, and the third year. See that there? You can write that shorter way. Because I'm timesing by the same thing each time, we can write it to a power. So I can write that as 1.02 to the power of 3 times 450. And that gives us a really quick way of doing it. 1.02 to the power of, on my calculator, is that button there. If you can't find it on your calculator, let me know. Times 450, and we get straight to our answer of £477.54. This is the same question. I've done it a long way, where you're taking every single step as you go, and it's absolutely fine to do it that way. And a slightly quicker way, some people might prefer just doing it this way, and the quickest way of all, when we're looking at it all in one line. When we're looking at it all in one line like this, just point out a wee couple of things. This number here, we get to the power, that's the number of years. Okay, so if we had to do this in 4 years, we'd times by 4, so that would be to the power of 4. 5 years would be to the power of 5, and so on, and so on, and so on. Okay, I'm going to do another couple, and I'm going to try them the quick way, because if you can, I would really like you to try the quick way. If you can, and you want me to go over more examples the long way, just let me know. But this would be my preference. Okay. Example then. Paul deposits £560 in a bank with an interest rate of 3.4%. How much money will I have after 4 years? I'm going to deal with this part first. Add 100%. We're adding on 3.4. So we get 103.4%. To get that into a decimal, I divide it by 100. I get 1.034. 4. So that's what I call my multiplier. So I get 1.034. It's for 4 years. So I'm going to do it to the power of 4. That's a dodgy 3. Let's try that again. This computer is so slow. There we go. That's better. To the power of 4, because it's for 4 years. He deposited £560. So I'm going to times by 560. So 1.034 to the power of 4 times 560. Comes out as £640.13. Just watch your rounding. Okay, next one. Sarah invests £8,500 in a bank with an interest rate of 1.9%, and she's going to leave it there for 3 years. So start with my percentage. I always start with the percentage. I'm going to add it onto 100. 100 add 1.9 is 101.9%. I want that as a decimal. To get it as a decimal, I divide it by 100. So I get 1.019. It's for 3 years, so I'm going to do it to the power of 3. And I'm going to times it by 8,500. Get my calculator going. .019 to the power of 3 times 8,500. 8,993.76. £8,993.76. Okay, I will leave you to try some of these yourself. There's some here if you want to try extra ones, but again, it'll be the ones in your book that I'll be going over. Okay, so it's the ones from the book that you really want to spend the time on.